Hello, doctors. NEET PG Information Brochure is here, and we are bringing you all the details in very simple language. So, this video would be specially useful for those people who are appearing in NEET PG either for the first or second time and who want to just acquaint themselves with the basics of counseling. So, beginning with the very first point, NEET PG counseling is fundamentally based on a 3200 point roster system. So roster system simply means assuming that a college has, let's say, five seats of a certain specialty, and among the All India 50% quota, it has to be decided whether two seats will go or three seats will go. Because 50% of five seats is supposed to be 2.5. So that's the first conflict. The second conflict is even bigger. Assuming that three seats go into the All India, then there is a certain reservation for SC candidates, ST candidates, economically weaker section for OBC, and rest of the seats, they are open seats. So, how would so many reservation categories be applied to just these three seats or two seats? There is only one logical way that in a period of many years, the seats keep rotating between the categories in such a manner that the percentage reservation is also satisfied and a certain seat keeps rotating between various categories. So that's why this 3200 point roster system is utilized in MCC counseling. So it is, of course, applicable only to the 50% AIQ seats. So this would ensure that across all colleges, across all the specialities, the equal chances are given to all the categories. So reservation policy, has its own conditions. Those conditions have to be fulfilled as well, and it has to be ensured at the same time that there is no injustice done to any particular, caste or category. So, regarding the counseling process, the first round is the simplest round. After registration, you are supposed to fill the choices, and a certain seat may or may not be allotted to you. So, the first round is very simple in the sense that it offers you a free exit. If you wish to join the seat, you are free to join it. Then also you can go for upgrade. If you do not wish to join the seat, that's up to you. Still, you would be eligible for the second round. If you wish to join the seat, but maybe before the second round you wish to resign from the joint seat, that is also possible. There are deadlines for every event like resignation, up to which you would be able to avail the benefit of free exit. Then round two would occur. If you have already registered in round one, then it's all okay. You do not need to register again. But if you wish to skip the first round somehow, everybody could have their own different reasons for this. So you want to participate directly from the second round, that is also possible. This happens in case of people who are, let's say, in 2025 willing to participate in INICT and they have kept their options open. If INI goes well, that is going to be maybe their first choice. Otherwise, they have the NEET PG rank to fall back on, which can be utilized from the second round onwards. So it is also permitted to upgrade your seat from round one to round. Then the third round occurs, and we'll talk about it in great detail. So, as the rounds progress, the rules become increasingly more strict. So, in round three, a very interesting thing happens, which is the conversion algorithm is applied. And we'll just see in detail how this is actually applied and who gets benefited the most from this. Then there is a stray vacancy round, which is for the leftover seats. So definitely the rules here are supposed to be even more strict. Although, as a surprising factor, in 2025, the rules for a stray vacancy round have been made little bit more lenient. So we do not yet know the logic for that. but we'll come to that point soon. So coming to eligibility, let's say before the first round registrations are going on, so all those who have, in open category or in their appropriate category, who have scored 40 percentile or 50 percentile, as the case may be, so they would be eligible to register. So, for example, SC candidates need to have a percentile above 40 in order to apply. For open candidates, the percentile must be at least 50 or more. Or rather, if I just go into the minute details of this, so this time the 50 percentile corresponds to a score 276. Even if your score is 276, percentile is, let's say, slightly less than 50, 49.98 for example, then also you are eligible. Because so far, what NBM has said is your qualifying score is 276. So they didn't talk about qualifying percentile at that stage. So in all India quota, 50% of the seats are supposed to be filled based on your NEET PG rank. So these all India seats are domicile free. So this means that suppose in Maharashtra counseling, 50% seats are in all India quota. Then you might be a, let's say, resident of any state of India. You might have done MBBS from anywhere, all will be treated as equals for those 50% seats. Then, once a seat is allotted to you, a rank letter would be issued to you. You would find that in your, let's say, in your login details on the MCC site itself. And then, based on that letter, you can go to a college for joining. So, let's discuss about the distribution of seats. So, as expected, 50% of all the seats in government colleges come under AIQ. Then there are central institutes. So we are talking about ESICs, Vardhaman Mahavir Medical College, Delhi, Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, and so on. So in these central institutes, 100% seats are filled through All India Counselling. So no doubt the state benefit, or let's say any other IP benefit is applicable, but at the MCC level itself. So assuming that somebody graduated from VMMC Delhi, so they are going to get the IPU quota. So when they fill that option of VMMC in counseling, they would be able to fill it under two quotas. First AIQ and second under IPU quota. But 100% seats are in central institutes filled by All India Counseling only. That means there is no separate counseling for IP. So this is something that's different from the MBBS counseling that you might have gone through 5, 6, 7 years ago. Then in deemed universities, 100% of the seats are filled through AIQ counseling. And among all these, 15% are reserved for NRI candidates. But they can also become management seats in later rounds. So that also we'll see. So whatever seats are not covered under the AIQ, they are then filled by the respective states. So assuming that we talk about Punjab State Counselling, 50% seats of, GMC Amritsar, Faridkot, GMC Patiala, and so on, they are filled by All India. Remaining 50% are to be filled by the state. So within those seats which are under the, let's say, jurisdiction of the state, if I may use that term. So the state has its own criteria and those things work independently. So MCC only takes care of what happens in the All India Counseling. Reservation policy among AIQ seats is very much clear. 15% seats are reserved for SC candidates, 7.5% for ST candidates, 27% reservation is there for OBC, 10% for EWS. So remember, this is what happens in all India counseling. In states, there might be a possibility that each state gives different, weightage to the various categories. For example, in some states, ST reservation is zero because there the ST population does not exist, and so on. Similarly, in a few states, there is 10% EWS reservation, but those are, in a sense, supernumerary seats. So those seats are over and above the already allocated seats. So that's a bit of a complex thing in itself. Maybe we'll come to that later on. But within each category, there is 5% horizontal reservation for PWD candidates. So, assuming there are 1,000 seats in all India, so SC candidates are going to get how much? 15% of that, 150 seats. Take 5% of that 150. It would come out to be 7.5. So, rounding off to about 8. So, 8 seats out of 1,000 are reserved for SC PWD candidates. So, in other words, the horizontal 5% reservation for physically disabled candidates is applied across all the categories. Now, what would be the fee for filling this form? For government colleges only you wish to apply, then you have to pay a total fee 26,000. Out of that, 25,000 would be the refundable component. 1,000 is the counseling fee, which is not going to come back. So remember, this fee we are telling you for general category. On the other hand, if you are NRI candidate or you want to participate in the counseling for deemed universities, you need to pay rupees 2,05,000. So again, 2 lakh would be refundable subject to certain conditions that you do not violate any rule of counseling. Now, beginning the things in little bit more detail, coming to round one, first of all, you need to register online. So then you need to fill your choices as and when the choice filling window is open. Then wait for your results. It could be a troublesome time. In UG counseling this year, we saw that counseling was delayed about 22 times. That's unusual. But keep in mind, MCC is not a body that works very efficiently. There would be unusual delays, there would be site crashes, and so on. So, assuming that you finally are allotted a seat of your choice, then you are supposed to report to the college with all the original documents, and college will keep those originals with them. So, talking more about the first round. So, assuming that you do get the allotment. So, first round is a free exit. One of the options is that you can exit. You say, I do not want this seat. Thank you, you offered me the seat, but I do not want it right now. So, there would be no penalty as such, and you can still participate in round two, and there is no need of fresh registration that you have already done. So the second option is you join the seat, and during the joining process, they will ask you, are you willing to go for upgradation? Then you can say, yes, the seat is okay. I'll be fine if I have to live with this seat, but I would definitely like to try for something better. So that is also possible. Then, assuming that you did not get any allotment in round one, then automatically you are eligible for the second round. So, registration does not need to be done again. So, PG counseling is again a field where you are juggling with a lot of parameters. There are many variables compared with UG counseling. In UG, you just have to choose the state and college. Now, within that college, you have to see the specialty also. So, our sincere advice is keep your specialties clear in mind, which two or three specialties you are interested in. Be firm on your stance. Whatever you choose now, you have to live with that for the rest of your life. So you might have many options. Do not strictly follow the trend. trends do change. We do not know if radiologists would be needed after 2035. We do not know. See, they still might be, but it's possible that only the best of the lot remains relevant, and maybe only their signature and opinion becomes more important. The actual diagnosis might be done by AI, as we are already saying. So, the crux of the matter is, if any branch right now is trending, do not just follow the herd. Apply your brain, look at your aptitude, what sort of life you are willing to live for the rest of your years. So, coming to round two. So, again, fresh registration is possible. And if you did not participate in R1, so fresh choice filling has essentially to be done in all the rounds. So remember, assuming that you got a seat in R1, you opted for upgradation, but in R2 you did not feel any choice. Then it is understood you are not going to get upgraded. Your previous seat is safe, that's fine. But in order to participate in a particular round, you do need to fill the options. So again, if you have participated in multiple counselings 3, 4 times, these things might look very basic to you, and you might even think, why is this counselor explaining so much the things which are clear by common sense? But I've given a disclaimer at the beginning of the video. This video is more relevant for people who are appearing in counseling for the first time or maybe the second time. So, physical reporting is essential. You cannot just take a few boxes online. You cannot just pay your fee online and say, I've got the seat now. No, you have to go there physically with your original documents. So, as expected from round one to round two, upgradation possible. Hai. So, you can go for upgradation. Now, in round three, a very interesting thing happens, and it happens not before R3, not after R3, it happens during R3. So, what happens is, there are these reservation categories, and within these categories, there is again horizontal reservation for persons with benchmark disability. So, assuming that in third round, with all the existing reservation norms, the software runs. One iteration is over, and now a few seats remain empty. What will happen is that the all the PWD seats which are now empty would be returned to their parent category. In other words, STPW seat becomes ST seat now. SCPWD seat has become SC seat now, and so on. So again, the software will run. So the seat which was supposed to belong to SCPWD candidate and could not be filled, it will now be available to a normal SC candidate. So the software runs again. Again, some of these empty SC seats were filled, few will still be empty. Another algorithm will now be applied. Remember, all these is happening. Many iterations of the software are running while the third round is still going on. So the remaining the remaining ST seats would be converted to SC. SC seats would be converted to unreserved, EWS also to unreserved. So if you noticed, OBC seats are not converted. So in the third round, it is extremely profitable in a sense. If you are an OBC candidate, your seat would remain your seat only. And of course, everybody is eligible for open seats. So if you are an OBC candidate participating in third round, you would see during choice filling all those options where a seat is empty either for OBC candidate or open candidates. So, round three, we are talking about, yes, fresh registrations are possible if you did not participate in R1 and R2. Besides, if a person was offered a seat in second round and either they did not join the seat or they joined the seat but resigned before a deadline, then their security amount would be forfeited. Now, such persons are still eligible for the third round, but they need to register again. So, besides that, just before the third round, it is possible that the qualifying percentile may be reduced from 50 to 15. So that happened last year also. That is a norm now in order to fill all the seats. So the newly eligible candidates would definitely be required to register before R3. So fresh choice filling and locking, that happens in all the rounds. Whatever choices you have filled in R1 and R2, they have become null and void now, and then you get the result as expected. Again, physical reporting is a must. So, regarding round three, one thing you should keep in mind, this time you go to the college, you go for joining a seat, there would be no option for upgradation. So, neither you can resign from your R3 joint seat. So, the only option that you have, assuming that you do not join the allotted seat, you can just exit with forfeiture. So, assuming that you registered for deemed universities, you paid 2,05,000 rupees. Now you refuse to join whatever seat is allotted to you, whether it is a seat in a deemed college or a government college. You refuse to join it. Then 2 lakh rupees is gone. So consider one more scenario. You had a seat in R2, you went for upgradation, and you are upgraded. So you have a different seat now. So you would have no claim over your earlier seat. Whatever your earlier seat was, it is gone. It has been allotted to some other candidate. So, considering the scenario that you are allotted a seat in third round of All India, some states might allow you to participate in the third round of the state, provided that you do not join the All India seat. But remember, most states are not going to permit you that, and therefore the third round is a round that becomes very crucial, and you have to be very careful while participating in this. uh, so proceeding further, let's say the next we are going to discuss is the stray vacancy round. It is a round in which the rules have changed in 2025. So, who is eligible? All candidates who are not holding any seat at the beginning of All India Stray Round. So, if you are holding any seat from any state counseling or All India counseling, you are not eligible for Stray Round. Stray round is looked upon as a lottery round. It is possible that in a certain college, in a certain branch, the closing ranks were, let's say, 5,000 in first round, then 5,500, then 6,000. Suddenly, you look at the previous year's data, in stray round, seat went to 18,000. Why? Because very few people are eligible, and so the luck factor comes into play. So you never plan your counseling based on the fact that you will participate till stray round. You always plan till the third round. Whenever you look at cutoffs from any source, we all know what the popular sources are. So make sure plan only till R3 if you are willing to and if you are committed to join a seat this year. Otherwise, if you think I've not done even performed to 50% of my potential, if I do not get a good seat, I would rather drop 1 year. Then you can plan your counseling in such a manner that in first, second, and third round, you are only filling the good options where you are actually willing to join. And if you do not get anything, you go to the stray round. There also, if you get something good, well and good. If not, you are willing to drop 1 year. So, stray round is a risky round, but it is also a very rewarding type of round. So, fresh registration has to be done. Even fresh security deposit is needed in this round. So, subject to other conditions, let's say those conditions in detail would be published before the stray round. So MCC would release notice in that regard. So once you are allotted, so then it is essential to join this seat. Regarding the stray vacancy round, remember there are few very minute rules which can change from year to year. So that flexibility, that thing must be part of your counseling, that you are willing to read all the notices. That's where people feel the need for a counselor. So somebody who can explain the things and simplify the things and inform you about all the possible scenarios that may arise in the future. So some of the critical rules of stray vacancy round are that, of course, it is mandatory to join. If you do not join, you lose your security deposit. But one very lenient clause is there in this year's information brochure. The clause is that earlier there was a 1 year ban in NEET exam if you did not join the allotted seat in the stray vacancy round. Now that clause has been deleted. So only your deposit would be forfeited. So, in a sense, the second, third, and fourth round have now been brought at the same level. You are given a seat, you do not join. The only thing you lose is money, only your security deposit. So, there is no other serious penalty in the stray round. So, this is the final opportunity for seat allocation. So, subject to the ongoing conditions, it is possible that there might be a special stray round. In fact, states hold many rounds after the stray also, because it is the direction of Supreme Court that all seats must be filled. So once the let's say third round is over, then there is data sharing between states and center to ensure that in the stray vacancy round of AIQ, no such candidate is allowed to appear who has any allotted seat from any counseling. So the state's data is integrated, and there is a two-way sharing of data between center and states. Then there is a filtering process. So the conclusion is that this is how MCC counseling proceeds. So stay informed, stay in touch with our Telegram channel. It is the fastest and the most authentic channel we can ensure you across India. You will get the most authentic news at the fastest speed. And for the next 1 year, it is free for everybody. So link is in the description. Good luck for your future. Thank you.